I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get.
Welcome back. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to what is this? The villains video. Suspect tries to fool detectives, instantly regrets it. Let's get right into it, man. It looked like a YN, but the way his hairline set up, might be an ON.
You said you don't know anything about that. Well, going to let you know that we're working a murder. That this ain't a weapon. You shoot this. I told you. Tell me a fucking again. Tell me again.
Something these voices was telling me just to do it.
They set up on his ass.
And I know it wasn't me, but I did it.
January 8th, 2018 started out as a typical Monday evening for Ida Mae Ford. She had spent her day tending to her duties and enjoying the comforts of her modest home on Winship Street. Little did she know that her life was about to be tragically cut short. Around 9:30 p.m., wrapped up in her pajamas and wearing a shower cap, Ida Mae decided to step outside, carrying an umbrella against the misty night air, planning to head to the nearby corner store. She carried her cell phone in hand, unaware that something truly gruesome was awaiting her.
911, where's your emergency?
Hello, yes, ma'am. I was passing through Winship Street, and I seen a guy laying in the middle of the road next to with an umbrella.
Do you know if this was a white male or a black male?
It's a black male. So he was just laying in the middle of the street. But like I said, it's very dark out here, so it's like right here by a cemetery. So I didn't want to stop.
Upon their arrival, the deputies discovered Ida Mae lying on the pavement with a gunshot wound to her chest.
What? Hey, why's it say it was like God?
Yeah, it's gonna be gunshot wounds. I haven't opened her jacket yet. Looks like there may be one to the leg. That's where the blood is. There's several shell casings. Looks like there's one to the leg. There's several shell casings. Yeah, it's gonna be a female.
Following the identification, investigator Daniel Shirley wasted no time. A search warrant for Ida's residence was swiftly obtained, and the team descended on her home. They combed through every room, every drawer, every hidden corner, but found nothing of consequence. Determined to dig deeper, Shirley turned his attention to Ida's phone and discovered that Daryl Coleman was the last person to contact the victim. Despite multiple attempts to reach him, Daryl refused to speak with deputies. Investigators soon uncovered another name linked to the victim, Theodore Golston. On the 9th of January, detectives picked him up from his residence at Montpelier Avenue for interrogation. During questioning, Golston confirmed he knew Ida Mae Ford, admitting they had been in a relationship. Revealed they had lived together for several years, but had since separated. When asked about his whereabouts on the 8th of January, Golston claimed that he was at work until around 5 p.m. and then went home. He denied leaving his residence at any point during the night before law enforcement made contact.
There was something happened tonight, okay?
What's going on over there?
And, unfortunately, Ida has passed away.
She did?
Yes, she is.
Somebody killed Ida?
Yes, it was not. She died of natural causes. Someone has actually just taken her life.
Alright.
Well, we're not sure yet. We've got to wait on the autopsy stuff to be done, but that's why I'm trying to hunt you down to speak with you and see what maybe you can give me that might help me find out who did it. Have you ever heard the name Daryl Coleman? You never heard the name Daryl Coleman?
I ain't know.
Golston also provided an alibi, stating his live-in girlfriend, Nikki Blackshear, was with him. After the interview, Golston was released, as the detective saw no evidence suggesting that Golston had met with Ida or was aware of any circumstances surrounding her untimely death. Investigators began to go back and suspect that Coleman's efforts to avoid contact, along with the fact that he was the last person to speak with the victim, indicated that he may have played a role in her death. Along with assistance from the Fugitive Task Force, deputies finally located and picked up Daryl Coleman at his residence on Spencer Circle.
Coleman? Yeah.
I thought this said investigator subway. I'm about to say, boy, what the hell?
You know why you're down here?
I got an idea. Maybe about Ida.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about. How long y'all been doing this?
I met her about a month ago.
How'd y'all meet?
I met her about Montpelier, kind of about the season.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my one friend that she came by, we talked a little bit, and she went on down the road, and I finished talking to my friend, and I went another way, but I bumped into her later on, and we just, started a conversation, started talking, and she invited me over, so we started talking, trying to get to know each other.
During the interrogation, Coleman admitted to knowing Ida Mae Ford for about a month. He revealed that he had visited her residence and spent a few nights there. When questioned about his whereabouts the night of the murder, Coleman had the perfect answer ready. Coleman further explained his whereabouts that evening, claiming that he watched the game with his mother before walking over to a friend's house, a friend who was nicknamed Squirrel and lived on Travis Boulevard. To verify his alibi, investigators reached out to both his mother and Squirrel, who both confirmed Coleman's account.
Speaking with people that knew I guess at one time that she had a drug problem. You know, you familiar with that?
No. She told me she didn't.
Oh, I'm gonna say girl problem. What the hell?
So,
a drug problem.
She had one time had been involved in drugs.
Nah.
Okay.
I guess that might have been a talk for the future or something. But nah.
No, not really. It doesn't have a bearing on that. Whatever. Do you have any issues there on drugs? Maybe you do.
Yeah.
What kind of problems you got?
I know they do the smoke zone.
That's what? I mean, like,
stones. Yeah.
Stones.
But what the hell is stones?
Nothing to do with you, never say you did or anything like that? Nah.
During further questioning, Coleman revealed that he first learned about the murder from a friend who called him to ask if he had spoken with Ida, mentioning there had been a murder in her neighborhood.
I told him I talked to her earlier. And I said, well, I didn't talk to her later. I said, but let me call her and, see what she okay and everything. So I called and the phone kept going to the answer machine. So I left a message like, girl, call me back. I'm trying to see if you're okay or you up on the corner being nosy. Because I didn't know it was her at that time. I said, you up on the corner being nosy or whatever. I got called her probably about 5 or 6 times. But nobody never answered the phone. Well, that made me start, kind of worrying a little bit.
Now, around what time was that?
And, I got to do it. I'll call them.
Sure, if you want to. Yeah.
The detective contacted Coleman's friend, Brenda Clark, by phone. Clark stated that she saw Coleman 3 times on the night of the murder, once at Joy's Pick and Scratch, located across the street from his house, and then in the driveway with a beer in hand. Clark added that she learned about the murder from the news and then immediately called Coleman to inform him. Meanwhile, Coleman, seated alone in the interrogation room, began to show signs of nervousness. Minutes later, with his story holding up under scrutiny, Coleman could finally breathe a sigh of relief. However, the detective's suspicions lingered, leading him to question Coleman about the weapons he owns.
Yeah.
When was the last time you shot a gun?
In years.
Like?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What?
I want to test it or something.
Shit, don't tell me you've been down this road before.
Nah, I just check out some detective things and what they be doing and stuff. So I figured since you asked me that question, you might have some kind of test you want to check,
There it is. Let me see your hand. Oh, that was
Talk.
Yeah. So my crime lab guys, they on the way down here, you let them swab your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, without search warrant? Consent?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said the last time that you fired a gun was years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if anything on there, I don't know how or where it comes from. It's some kind of miracle with some.
You ain't been around nobody else?
Chemicals or something. Oh, I said years ago. No, it's been like a year or 2 ago.
Okay. Well, you said years ago. When you say years ago, I'm assuming you're talking like back in the day.
Yeah, 10, 15, 20.
But you say it's been about a year ago?
Yeah, maybe more than a year.
The detective tests Coleman's honesty by asking what punishment he believes the real killer deserves. Someone guilty of the crime might suggest a lighter sentence or rationalize why the murderer should be given a second chance. Thus,
brother, that's a horrible ploy. Nigga, off the rip, I'm gonna just go off my moral convictions and say, life is what you talking about? Took a life, give him life.
Revealing their own guilt. Pete Johnson from District 3 ran the serial number of a .40 caliber pistol recovered during a traffic stop. Since Ida had been killed with a .40 caliber weapon, this discovery raised suspicion. Johnson had pulled over Brandon Mitchell for a tag violation, and upon detecting a strong smell of marijuana, searched the vehicle. He found a black backpack with about a pound of marijuana.
The fact that that's just gonna go to waste in police lockup is the worst in American history. Like, nigga, don't destroy the evidence. It's gonna leave it there if they don't destroy it. Like, bro, that's a pound. Let it go free. Please.
And a Smith & Wesson .40 caliber pistol. Mitchell was taken down to the station for questioning about Ida's murder and a separate shooting at Mercer University involving a .40 caliber weapon.
All right, Brandon, here's the thing. Now, I already know you know.
That boy got caught with a pea. No.
Deputy's got a gun out of your car. Okay? What kind of gun was it? Your gun, right? Your gun? Okay. They got a gun out of your car. Did he tell you that today? Okay. Well, they got a gun out of your car. All right. That is your car. You said your car. Yeah, my car. Okay. How long have you had it? I just got it. You just got it 5 minutes ago.
The car or the gun?
Yeah, probably yesterday. No, yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. Where'd you buy it from?
The dude, I think it's DNC. His nigga named Mike, he did right on Pine on it. He got cars in the lot. You know what I'm saying? I drove it off the lot. He didn't tell me nothing about no insurance like I wouldn't when he got it. Man, I drove it off the lot. I still got a little operating tag, pimp tag on it. Okay. Well, like I said, they got a gun out on. And of course, you know, that gun will be tested and stuff like that and all. So if you know, if your DNA is on it, I mean, what about it? Right? Okay. So I mean, you saying you don't know anything about the gun? Okay. Well, the gun is a .40 caliber. Okay. Now, going to let you know that we're working a murder. Okay. That the same type of weapon was used in. And you just so happen to get picked up today with what? Same type of weapon, right? So, how do you think that looks? You want to go with me? I'm telling you. You guys do it together. Don't even damn thing. Okay. I just left my girlfriend. Okay. Where's your girlfriend live at? Call her. She didn't tell you I did live. She was calling the phone anyway. She want to know where I'm at. Where she live at? Cypress. Cypress? Yeah, Cypress. Right on by Burnway, close to where you pull me over. Cypress Drive. And right up by Carlisle. CYPRESS. Right out the place. Cypress.
That one ain't speaking no English. I heard a lot of country draws.
The detectives are direct and no nonsense, giving Mitchell no opportunity to make up a story. By the way, if you're finding the video interesting so far, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really supports the channel. Now, let's dive right back in.
No, okay, so shut up.
How long did you touch it?
Go back.
How long I touched? I got in, I found my foot bell, and I walked on my car, bought my car.
Okay, where's that at?
My mom, I don't eat.
Okay, so you found the book bag.
And the gun was in the book bag, too.
Okay. And what else is in the bag?
What you find, man? I didn't find anything. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's probate, right? Same difference. No. Big difference. Big difference. Well, you ain't find it where he told you. He pulled you over. Right, bullshit. Okay, this wasn't good. We ain't talking to you about what you got in the car. There's only one thing we're concerned with, which is understanding what we asking you about. You know what that one thing is? That pistol, right? That's the only thing you're worried about. For anything else, that's what you got to deal with him with. Our job is totally different than that. We give them back. I ain't got nothing to do with nobody. That's what we asking about this gun. And I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing to do with that body of that gun. Okay, so but you saying that you got the gun out of a book bag. When did you get that book bag? Well, I bought my car. When I got my car. I found the book bag. Then I bought my car. Where you found the book bag? On my mom street, in the bush. And your mom said he's on Evan place, right? Even. My girlfriend on the phone with y'all.
And how long ago was that? How many days ago was that? A week ago? Or something?
No, when I bought my car.
Okay, you said you bought the car when?
When I bought no shit. Call Mike, 978-000 down. Anything when I bought the motherfucker. Who was Mike? The dude that car just like. He's one of the workers there? He owned it. Okay. He said, stay on the thing, right up on the thing. That's what I'm telling y'all. All right. So you found a book bag right before you bought the car? No, like a day before. Then I went and bought my car.
Surprisingly, Mitchell, too, had an alibi for the night of the murder. However, his evasiveness only heightened the detective's suspicions.
Man, hell yeah.
Hey, alibis be rap captains.
You want me to get up? She said 3:54. She said we'll be here like, you want me to tell you call brother, you call mom, you call, man, about 8 people in the house, they know I be up every night. Y'all shit. We talking about one. No, they be right out there. Yeah. We talking about money. Alright, well, shit, I be up every day. I mean, every month, they know that all that money. Okay. Y'all chill. And your brother? No, really want to go tripping. Is Jermaine. Huh? Jeremy, right? Well, no, I was at his house. Right, Monday.
Around what time was that?
I told you, I paid my daughter school. Tell me a fucking again. Tell me again. It's like moving out. It's like I tell you, I pay my daughter school at 8 o'clock every morning. And then I leave my girlfriend about 12 when she go to work, because she go to Bobo Mobile High at 11:30. We're talking about every morning. We talking about Monday. That's what I'm talking about. Monday. Is this ain't different? What do you mean? Monday, I took my daughter to school. Boom, dropped off. I came back home. I got there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I laid down, left about 11:30. When my girlfriend went to Bobo Mobile High, then I went to G-Man house. Who I'm telling you about. I left his house about motherfucking 8 or 9 o'clock when she get off at Mason, because she get off at her dad's off at 3, then go to Mason didn't tell you that.
The detectives employed the classic good cop, bad cop tactic. Detective Shirley adopted the role of the tough, intimidating bad cop, sitting close to the suspect and raising his voice when answers were withheld. Meanwhile, Detective Shockley remained calm and approachable, playing the role of the good cop.
I mean, it's cliche, but the reason why cliches happen or catch on is because, I mean, initially they worked, so I guess it's a solid plan. But shit.
This dynamic encourages the suspect to trust the good cop, opening up under the pressure of the bad cop's intimidation.
What's your name?
My name, man.
Is anybody else with you? Anybody else with you?
We're going
riding, going to different places? By yourself?
It's around the corner.
It's around, well, I don't care. It's around the fucking corner. I'm telling you, you have another motherfucker in the car with you.
No.
Okay? You know what I'm saying now? You're saying another motherfucker in the fucking car with you. There you go. You by yourself. Which one?
I rolled by myself to my brother's house, and I rolled back from my brother's house with
That is
myself.
crazy close.
One.
Nah, I don't do 26-1.
And his address is yours.
I don't down either.
So, when you left there to go to the girlfriend house on Cypress, did you walk on English Avenue?
No.
Cypress? How'd you get there?
I drove back through Roy. Where he did pull me over.
What you driving?
My car.
Okay, well, you just said you got a call about 2 days ago.
I told you, I can't remember when I bought my car. Call Mike. He'll tell you, I told you, call Mike. He'll tell you when I bought $2,500. 2006 Prime Vic.
You can't remember when you bought the car?
No.
How the fuck can you not remember when you bought your car?
Man, it had to be on the 7th. I think it was on the 7th, matter of fact.
On the 7th you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which would mean that would be Sunday.
Nah, hell, I'm about to do it on
You
Sunday.
want to make a bet?
You know?
You want to fucking make a bet? I don't know. We want to challenge us. Okay?
Yeah, how much you talking?
Look at that.
Bang?
Sunday.
500?
Grab my phone. I took a picture of my car that I bought. I can show you the day I bought that motherfucker. It probably was Sunday.
Okay.
Matter of fact, his car in my car. It's sitting in the motherfucking middle.
Okay. So, because they got your phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said something about monkey in the middle.
What's your phone? The 92259?
Mm-hmm.
The detectives paused to regroup. After a brief break, Detective Shockley returned to inquire about Mitchell's whereabouts on the day of the murder.
Yeah.
You got weed on this one.
No.
What you supposed to do?
Yeah, I thought that was. As a matter of fact, I was at my brother's playhouse watching football game.
So you went to gun for that?
No, I was at playhouse, so we had left his house and went to my brother's house.
Now who's taking?
That my other brother. He stayed around the corner from my brother.
What phone?
He stayed around the corner from Eagle House. Both on the same place there.
I'll pay you.
He about 23, 24. Shit, I don't know.
Baby?
Yeah, you know the Jordan game's on. Yeah. I told her, she had just rolled up and text me. I told her I needed to text me. She just rolled up. She said, she told me, get my daughter something to eat at 8:49. I told her I was going to come in the hat when it was like, at halftime. What time the game started?
Like about 8.
I'm saying, I thought I was going to come out 8:49. Then I went on people's phone, got my phone. And I told you what time when people pulled up on me. They said they can't bring me some money. I told you what time I was still sitting there at my brother's house because they can't bring me money. I went to my other brother to come back.
So my payout, right?
Yeah. And then boom, what I say? And then I had went home. See, I don't think I'll tell when I got home though. But yeah, see, I told you I was at my brother's house watching the game, food out. It was about 12 people that could buy.
Did you have to go back in? So you have found it yet?
Yeah. See, I told you I went driving with it.
But you had found it already?
Yeah.
And you found it what, Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Man, I told you I don't know where I found it.
Well, same day you bought the car, right? Or before you bought the car?
No, I found it the day before I bought the car.
You bought the car?
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell stated that on the night of the murder, he was at his brother's house on Vineville Avenue watching a game. To verify his alibi, Detective Shirley contacted Mitchell's brother, Dasha, who confirmed that Brandon had indeed been at his home, consistent with the timeline that Mitchell had provided. With Mitchell's consent, DNA swabs were taken, and the gun was submitted to the crime lab for analysis.
Okay. This is me as an adult to an adult, someone adult, you're a young man, as a parent, okay? So you're not telling me that we ain't got to worry about no more. And plus, what we do for a living, probably that. And listen. The reason being is that I kill my gratitude.
Okay.
30 homicides last year. Now, how many of those 30 do you think were your age and younger? I would probably say, 80%. I'm just telling you something to keep this in mind. I know you won't believe me. You'll walk away from here and say, fuck you. If you keep going like you're going now, you're going to end up in a statistic. We're going to be investigating. I'm going to be standing over your dead body in the street. Okay? And then what'll happen is we'll bring you down here just like you are. Okay? You graduated high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got your diploma?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You need to focus on doing more than that and moving forward and doing something better for you.
The nigga just asked him if he graduated high school. He said yes. Then he proceeded to ask him if he had his diploma. How would you? How would you not have that after if you graduated? Unless you owe funds to the school. What is he talking about? He said that you graduate, not did you get your GED. I'm confused. And either or, same equivalence. But...
And your community. Don't be like the rest of them out here. You hear me, Brandon? Be different.
Brother, who is the rest of them?
After a pep talk about making better choices, Brandon Mitchell was eventually arrested on unrelated charges, including possession of marijuana and illegal weapon carry. After hours of intense interrogation, the detectives were left with more questions than answers. There were no suspects, no clear motives. With each passing hour, the case grew colder. That is, until, miles away, someone in custody made a shocking confession.
So, from my understanding, and I know you probably want to jump to the point, I know they've been talking to you for a long time today, right? So, and I know you probably won't be around the bush about it or nothing, but they said, or we were informed about a homicide of a lady in Macon that happened a few weeks back.
Did he say in Macon?
Oh, hell. I saw a lady walking, I think I was right before Madden Avenue. She asked me where I was going. She said she was going one way. I said I was going another way. And I shot her.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about, you said it was on Madden?
Or right before Madden.
And so was she coming towards you, bud?
I kind of stopped and waited till she caught up to me. And we had those few words and I shot her.
Okay. Where did you shoot her at?
I think maybe in the head, probably.
On January 24, 2018, Quentin Sanders was formally charged with murder, aggravated assault, hijacking a motor vehicle, and armed robbery. He was promptly taken into custody. In August of 2022, years after Ida Mae Ford's tragic death, Quentin Sanders stood in court and was convicted on all charges. The judge handed down a life sentence, ensuring that he would spend the rest of his days behind bars. Grandmother and cherished member of her community had had her life cruelly stolen by a man consumed by impulses that he couldn't control. Her absence left a void that can never truly be filled.
Facts. Great video about the villains. Rest in peace, Miss Ida. This motherfucker, I don't like how this 12 would be like, yeah, bruh, we caught him on this. He supposedly got a gun. Let's try to railroad this. I'm talking about in the middle there. He really ain't do. He literally had alibis and all that. He ain't do. They talking about something. Well, tell me again. Like, brother, what are you getting belligerent with me for? I didn't do shit. So, who we were talking to like that, or none of those things. The prisoner who they had already caught, who then confessed. I mean, I guess I commend you for confessing to your crime, brother, because they could have been a cold case that never got solved. Especially with the way they was doing shit. Like, what the hell? That's the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell so you can stay updated when I drop videos on this channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Baby, slide by to my mind.